Hello, everybody. My name is Beverly Savaling. I'm a registered nurse, public health nurse. I work for the Kern County Health Department. I'm stationed at the Department of Human Services, and I'm here today to kind of talk about head lice and bed bugs. And if you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to pop up and say what you got to say. Okay? And I'm already starting to itch. Okay. Historically, head lice has been around since forever, and the adult lice are called louse, and they're tiny little insects that get into the scalp of your hair and attach to the shaft of your hair. They like glue to it, and it's really hard to get rid of them. Let me see. They live on the blood because they bite and they inject their saliva into your hair or into your scalp, and that's why you start itching. And before this is all done, every single one of you will be itching your head. I don't know. Let me see. Lice typically die quickly. They only live within 2 or 3 days if they're not getting enough blood. Delaying treatment, what that does is, gives them extra time to mate and make more nits. They typically do not spread disease, so you don't, but they do, like if you're scratching and if you've got dirty fingernails or something and you're really scratching, little kids, they use the restroom and they don't wash their hands and they're scratching, you can get infections. So it's really important, if you figure out that you've got this in your house, trimming fingernails, using nicks, or olive oil is also real good. This is their life cycle. They mold different times before they become adults. Once they become adults, male and female get together, do the thing, and start producing more babies. So it's really important that when you're dealing with this, you clean everybody's head. In the household, everybody in the household, do everybody's hair. Then about a week or 2 later, do it again.
So they only go for the head?
Pardon?
They only go for the head?
Oh, no. They go for the downstairs. They go for the pubic area. They also can go on the eyelashes and eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever there's hair, where they can hide. If you've got bushy eyebrows or wherever there's hair, they will go. And this is just another life cycle. Just shows where the babies are called nymphs. Then they become adults, and they get together, have sex and produce more eggs. There are myths. This little square that's here. The writing is really small, so I can't see it, but personal hygiene has nothing to do with it. You can have clean hair or you can have filthy hair. It doesn't matter. You can still get it. They cannot jump or fly, but they can run and climb real fast. They also, let me see, it's from person to person. You don't get it from dogs and cats, animals. Lice, for some reason, they're not into animals. Carpets and furniture are not usually places that because they have to have a food supply. So if they're not near a food supply, they can die within a day or two.
They're not like their cousins?
Pardon?
They're not like their cousins? Bedbugs?
No. These they die pretty quickly. If they're not getting blood, they die pretty quickly. Let me see. Don't use vinegar, because if you've been scratching your head and you put vinegar on your hair, pain. But also it doesn't work. I think some people have been said that you use vinegar on your hair to kind of loosen up the cementing process of the nits to your hair. It doesn't work. Also, please do not use gasoline, kerosene, pet shampoos, fleas treatment. insecticides, stuff like that on your hair, because, well, yeah, especially your children, it could really make you sick. You know, it can lead to death. Who gets lice? Everybody can get lice, okay? And I've already kind of covered some of this. You know, you can get it from your, classmates, from, if you're living in a dorm, they spread really quickly. I mean, if you're leaning back watching TV and you're sitting on a chair that's material, fabric material, you're leaning back, and I mean, somebody sat there you just 3 or 4 hours later. It can get into your hair, or if you're sharing, you're borrowing a sweater from a friend and you put it on, they just had it on, you put it on, well, it can, hats, combs, brushes, that type of thing. So, yeah, you can get it real easy, actually. And what to look for. Nits are the lice eggs. They're kind of oval. They can be white, tan, but they're usually around the ear, along the neck, where it's real warm, and usually, you get somebody to kind of lean over and you just kind of check and kind of part the hair and look, and it's, they're usually really close to the scalp. The eggs are always laid near the scalp, so as soon as they're born, they have a food supply, okay? Let me see, the colors can be kind of a yellow, tan, or brown. Has anybody here seen nits before? No?
Yeah.
You have?
You're right, I'm getting itchy already.
Yeah. It's all in your head. Adult lice and nymphs, which are baby lice. The adult lice, louse, whatever you want to call it, is usually no bigger than the size of a sesame seed. And I'm sure everybody's seen sesame seeds. They're real tiny. Okay, they can crawl away. They if light, they move away from the light. The nymphs, the baby lice are actually much smaller, and if not treated, they repeat their life cycle about every 10 to 12 days, so they can produce babies, or the nits. They can produce the nits a lot, and pretty quickly. Other signs is the biting, where you're itching. If you see your little one scratching their head, it's probably time to check it out, and you want to, and you just kind of divide their hair and, move it and look at along the scalp, do it, you just kind of go across the back of from ear to ear, just looking, and if you find them, there are products that are over the counter, or you can go to the doctor and they can make a prescription, but they also, olive oil is really good too, where you soak the hair in olive oil and then you put like a bag, or just kind of keep them, you can have them wear it for the whole day and then wash the hair out before you go to bed, or wear it, they can wear it at night while they're sleeping, and then when they get up, wash it out, you'll notice that the children or adults, their heads irritated, or wherever it's at gets irritated. So it's, if you notice somebody, it's probably a good idea to, your little ones, keep their nails short, get them to wash their hands more often, because they're outside playing in the dirt, the neighbor's dog comes walking by and relieves himself, and they're playing in the dirt, so they've got that, and then they're scratching. So, you want to wash their hands a lot, trim nails, and then, treat their hair, and then, wait a week or so, treat it again. Like I said, it's very contagious. If you're, you see all these little girls, their heads are all up against each other. That it only takes a second for you to be close to somebody for his or her lice to get into your hair. Nicks, rid, these are also good shampoos to use, but you don't want a combined like Nix and Rid and use at the same time. Don't do that. That could, because these have poisons in them. So you want to use it properly, follow the instructions, and make sure you rinse well after, and then also you want to make sure that the lice comb is metal. Okay, and you want to make sure in between using it, you want to make sure you clean it really well, and it's really important. Go from ear to ear, and then slowly picking them out. It takes a long time, but you got to do what you got to do. Okay. Let me see things you can do to get rid of lice and nits in your home. This is what I was talking about. Washing your bedding in hot water, drying everything in hot water. They say you can put toys that cannot be put in a dryer or cleaned in some way. Put them in baggy, garbage bags, and put them away for a couple of weeks, because the lice will die within a couple of days. But I don't know, most people, if there's lice happens to get into the toys, do you want dead lice in your toys? I don't know. I would throw them away.
Lice can get on your toys?
Well, the stuffed animals,
Yeah.
where it's fuzzy, like the child that's got lice is snuggling up against the toy, they can get into it. So, and if there's like curtains behind the bed, you probably want to wash those curtains, because they can get anywhere. I mean, they'll die pretty quickly, and they want to stay as close to their feeding grounds as possible, but you want to make sure you cover all bases. Vacuuming the floors really well, or cleaning the carpet, sweeping. It's really important to wherever they sleep, clean the entire area really well, and you need to do it within the first 24 hours. Do it all at the same time, because if you do the hair one day and then bed sheets the next day and then curtain the next day, they can move, so it's really important that you do all the cleaning as quickly as possible at the same time. There's don'ts. Don't use, if you don't use a hair dryer on your hair after you apply any of the treatments, because there might be something flammable in there. You don't want to. Also, if they've been scratching, it's gonna hurt. Don't use. You don't want to wash your hair, use conditioner, and then put the soap in, because it won't. You want. You want your hair to be dry when you put the shampoo, the Nix or Rid you want in there. Don't use pesticides. A lot of this I've already covered. It's really important not to use like spray poisons and stuff like that in your hair, because it can make you sick or your child sick. Earlier I said don't use you don't want to use different like two or three different medications or shampoos in the same head. That's not, because it's like an overdose. Okay. Let me see. Essential oils. That's not going to do any good anyway. Don't waste your time with essential oils. And again, don't use gasoline, kerosene, anything flammable, because I know some people have used kerosene. Back in the day they used kerosene. Prevention is the key. Keeping yourself clean, keeping your hands clean, hair clean, not using other people's combs, brushes, scrunchies, towels, hats, clothing, And it's really a good idea to put clean everything. Combs and brushes you can put in your dishwasher, to clean them play. I mean, it's you just need to do that every once in a while, because if you're brushing your hair, after a month or so, the brush is dirty, so you need to wash it. And if you find out that your children have it, you need to make sure you call the school, school nurse, teacher, friends, parents. Oh, also, it's the car seat. You want to make sure you clean the car seat really well, because they're leaning on the car seat. Make sure you clean that. Take the fabric part of the car seat off and wash it in hot water. Well, a lot of times you want to put it back on, not put it in the dryer, because if you put it in the dryer, it'll shrink. So you want to put it on, and just kind of let it set in the sun. Let's see. Oh, bed bugs. So, does anybody have any questions about lice now? Anybody itching now?
That's a really bad
Bed, yeah. So, all right. So let's go to bed bugs. Bed bugs are on the increase right now. They're most commonly found in motels, shelters, apartment complexes, home, luggage, clothing, moving boxes. So like if you're at somebody's home and bed bugs, there's a breakout in bed bugs, so you're moving, the bed bugs can get in your boxes and stuff. So also they love to hang out in dog hair, cat hair. These your clothes. It's a lot of times if you go somewhere where you're traveling, it's you want to kind of check out the mattress, and you'll see the mattress up here. You'll see the beading. If you lift that beading up, you'll see little dark spots. It's their poop. You'll see poop there, and eggs. And the whole life cycle there. They also like to, if there's carpet on the floor, they like to kind of get themselves between the carpet and the wall, and they'll kind of make their homes there. And usually what they'll do is at night when the lights go off, they come out, they go nearest wherever the heat is, feed, and then go back to their little cubby holes. Okay, so it's really important that you make sure you dry clean. If you find out that you've been exposed to bed bugs, you really need to clean everything. They're really hard to get rid of. What are bed bugs? They're wingless insects that like to feed on blood. There's 3 stages: the eggs, juvenile, and adult. They're small, but they're visible. They usually like to stay near a bed, because that's how they feed. When the lights go off, they climb up where the person is sleeping, and they eat. I've seen some people coming in for visitation, and they have like little sores on their arms, and where it's like they'll eat, move, and they'll eat, and they'll have because they're and if you're scratching, it's going to get the sores are going to get bigger. Also, you need to again cut your fingernails if you know that's what it is. Do your best to get it. As soon as you realize there's bed bugs, throw away the mattress, because you can't save that mattress. Throw the mattress away. Clean the floors really well. Maybe call pest control. They can help. Because these little guys, they don't jump or fly, but they run fast. They climb, and they can, get into everything.
They can hide in books.
Yeah, books, theaters. If you go, somebody sits in the chair before you again, the bed bugs can, kind of come off of, if they're in your clothes, they can come off and kind of kick back in the chair, and you sit down, and they can get into your clothes. and then you go home and you can have an infestation that way. Yes, I've already kind of covered this part. They prefer warm areas, and they like to hang out on dogs, cats, birds, rodents, bats. They can endure it without blood supply. They can live up to a year. And like again, the hitchhiker, they're excellent hitchhikers. I was explaining that earlier. Infections can happen. If you get, sores, anytime you get an opening in your skin and you're scratching, you can get an infection. We've we've just had a recent influx here in Kern County. They're finding it more in healthcare facilities, the library. What was it? I don't remember if it was bed bugs or hair lice at the library. I don't remember, but it had lice?
No, it was bed bugs.
Bed bugs? Okay. Hotels, schools, housing, apartments, public transportation, theaters, and it's, we got, more homeless people coming in that, they're going into places because it's cold, the library and other public places, and sitting in the chairs. So we've got a lot of it. I've already covered this. Before they eat, I guess they kind of look flat when they're not feeding. They're real flat, but after they've had a feeding, they swell up. There's some of them are oval and round, and kind of oval and pudgy. Some are long. On the picture, it has the female, and it start. I think it's. This is in minutes. They can eat how they eat. Within 3 minutes they'll swell up, and they're just nasty little creatures. This is the life cycle, and it's so tiny I can't even read it over here. But they, male and female get together, make the eggs, and then they as they grow, they're getting on you or the person, eating as they get bigger, and then keep producing. You've got the egg, first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, and fifth stage larva. And then you've got the adults where they can start reproducing. So, and this is, go through this, let me see. 5 eggs per day. A female lice can 5 eggs a day. So 10 days, that's 50. They produce quickly. And this is just showing you more of the, juvenile,
Yeah, it's real life too.
Yeah. The health risk, they feed on blood. You can have reactions to the bites. Some people are allergic, and huge reactions where they have to, go to the hospital. Some common symptoms are the itching and welting up. Scratching may cause infections. Never shown to pass diseases. It's usually, you're scratching and you cause the infection.
Oh, so it's the dog tick that pass diseases?
Well,
Lyme disease?
Yes. Ticks from animals can cause Lyme disease, yes. If you experience allergic reactions or severe skin reactions, please contact your doctor. And if you notice that you're sleeping somewhere and you're getting the dots, because it's like they eat in a pattern. You'll see like a little line it's probably important to go to the doctor, and especially if they start becoming welting up, oozing, where you just because there's medications that can help you with that. This picture shows how they they'll eat, bite, they just kind of bite, eat a little bit, and they move around. Let me see. Most often the bites are dark. Well, you can see. Under stress, may bite during the day. Usually they're nocturnal. It may take up to 14 days from a reaction to develop from the bites. So it's not going to happen right off, but it can take up to 14 days. But usually most people that are getting bit by these little pesky things, usually you see it pretty quickly. You will find them. Oh yes, behind pictures, you'll find them. Along the
Cause
frames.
they crawl down to your bed and shit.
Well, yeah, because if you have a picture above your bed, they'll start a little habitat back there, or along the beading of your bed, along the mattress and the headboard, so they can have easy access to your skin. Draperies, a lot of this I've already talked about. Also, box springs, they'll get in between the wood and kind of tuck in where they can move. So, tips. Carry as few items with you as possible. Do not bring bags or personal items inside. Sit on hard plastic chairs. Do not sit on the bed or plush furniture. Check clothing after visiting. A lot of this is has to do with when we go do home visits. Before entering the car, you want to put belongings in plastic bags. They have those big plastic bags with the Ziploc on it. And what we're doing now when we're transporting children, as we're putting their things in those Ziploc baggies and transporting them that way. Sometimes there have been times where when you get home, you strip off in the garage and make sure your stuff is clean. Put on and just go straight into the shower if you feel that you've been in a home with this going on. Okay. Or if you happen to visit family members that this is going on, it's you want to wash your clothes fast, okay? You want to make sure everything's protected, or prevention is the key. Use separate clothing and shoes for field work. Shave clothes outside before entering the car. Just use those those Ziploc bags. Let me see. Laundering. Inspect your own living and working spaces regularly. Inspecting. You check for small stains on the furniture and bedding. Look for shedded skin, amber in color. When they molt. Check crevices. It shows where the bolt is. You want to keep an eye on that type of thing. Look inside the car because they can be in the car. They can sit in the car. Turn over furniture. Look under the furniture. Pull out drawers and inspect. This is what you do in your household to keep an eye on all this. To get rid of bed bugs, clean and organize living area. Reduce clutter. Bag and remove bedding. Clothes and places where they can hide. Use hot dryers for 30 minutes for the plush toys, shoes, coats. Isolate and clean items until the bed bugs are gone. Caulking holes in the floor and walls. Vacuum mattresses. Sometimes you're just going to have to get rid of the mattress. Because if it's that infested, you want to get rid of, you can't save it. Let me see. Put the vacuum bags that you're using outside in the garbage. You don't want that left in your house. If you got the kind of vacuum container that you dump out, you want to dump it and then clean, let me see, you want to clean curtains, rugs, carpet, everything. Keep bed bugs in and away from yourself. Keep bed bugs from infesting the new mattress, the box springs. Confirms new bed bugs activity outside of the encasement. Sometimes people will there's these mattress covers that you can put where you can zip it shut. And you want to keep an eye on, keep watching for it. Change your bedding every couple of days until once you they're gone. Where you 100% it's gone, then you can relax for a little bit.
You can get those covers at Walmart.
Target, Walmart, any of those type of places. You want to inspect your luggage when you're traveling. Wash donated clothes first in hot water. Inspect used furniture and other purchases. Wrap infected items in plastic before discarding them. Label discarded items. You want to put like a label saying infected by bed bugs. So that if somebody, 'cause again, we have homeless people that go through your garbage, and you want them to know this is the reason this is in this bag, because you don't want them to get infected too. For more information, you can contact Department of Public Health. That's me, and we will answer your questions and give you resources, whatever you need to help you get this situation taken care of. Any questions? Any other issues you want me to cover? No?
When you go to a hotel or stay somewhere, check the beds because they're required, if you have bed bugs, they're required to put you in another room.
Yeah.
But you always want to check the hotels.
And they also sell, they're almost like little sleeping bags, but they're made of sheet material, where you can sleep, you have your own pillow, you sleep on top of their bed in your own sheeted area. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I bring my own stuff because different places can be nasty, and you don't, you want to make sure you're safe and uninfected. So any other questions?
What other classes would you like her to teach in the future?
Now, what do you teach?
Sex ed, STDs, bed bugs, stuff like that. We also talk about flu, hygiene, nutrition. What I think I'm going to do is make a list and email it here so that we can kind of have a list so that people can figure out what they want. But again, next month, rather, on the 15th, we're going to do a little presentation on car seat safety. So.
And even if you don't have kids, it's good to know in case somebody else is traveling with a kid and they don't know how to travel.
Yeah.
Safe
sleeping.
Safe sleeping.
For babies.
Oh.
Yes, for babies. Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of safe sleeping here.
Sorry.
Sorry, nutrition does sound interesting.
So, I guess that's it.
Yeah. A nutrition class would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Thank you.